BookBosomedKlauds, and I am back with another video after how many months? I think 2 months? 2.5? I don't know. Anyway, it's been a while, and yeah, I think I had a bit of burnout, I guess, or I just wasn't really motivated to film, but anyway, here we are, and yeah, I am glad to be back, of course, with a January book tag. I think it's gonna be a yearly tradition now that I disappear during the last few months and then reappear in January, just to make you all miss me. Anyway, so I'm back with the January book tag. This tag was created by Agaton, and I was tagged to do this by Moon from Moonlight Scrolls. Thank you so much for tagging me. And before I go on, I would like to tag Esme from Esma's Cup of Books and Isa from Isa Not Bella. So this tag has 10 questions in it. I am not looking forward to editing this, but you know what? Here we are. Here we go. We're gonna do this together! What was the last and first book you read last year? The first book I read last year was Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I think the reason why I chose to start the year off with a classic was that if I start the year off with a classic, maybe it'll set the tone for the rest of the year for me to read more classics. It did not work. So yeah. And then I chose to end 2021 with Priest by Sierra Simone. There is no judgment in this channel, friends. We welcome all genres except for the horror genre because I am a scared little child. What is your first read this year? Okay, well, it is currently January 29, so I read quite a few books. But I started the year off with Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I picked it up because Daniel Green featured it in one of his year-end videos. I think it was the his Choice Awards videos. I can't remember which one. I just know that he really liked it and he really raved about it. So I kind of got my hopes up for this book. It's a multi-POV type of book. And some or two POVs I enjoyed more than the other. At some points, I didn't really understand what was going on. But I am interested enough to continue to the next book because of how it ended. So yeah, you guys should check that out. Share 3 reading goals for this year. Okay, so my 3 goals are: try to read at least 1 classic every 2 months. Yeah, last year I kind of wanted to read at least 1 classic once a month, but let's be real here. I'm not, yeah. So I just hope that I can pick up more classics this year. Because, you know, these books walked so that the books we have now could run. My second goal is to read at least half of the books on my TBR. Okay. So last year, my nieces and I were bored. So we kind of counted the books I had in my, shelves. But let's just say we were very shocked at the number of books that I have in total. And then I personally counted the books that I physically have that I have read versus the ones that I have not read. And the comparison is disgustingly astounding.
Shame.
And yeah.
Shame!
I just wanna finish those, or at least remove maybe some of the books that maybe I'm not interested in reading anymore. But we'll see. We'll see. My last goal is to read more manga. Now, last year, I followed some people on TikTok who raved about some specific mangas that enticed me to read them. And now, I kind of miss it. I kind of miss reading manga. So this year, as I'm getting more and more interested in the recent releases, I kind of want to read more. I don't want to read the ones that have a whole lot of chapters released already. Stuff like Naruto, One Piece. Though I would watch it, But yeah, so those are my goals for 2022, at least in terms of reading. Number 4, share 3 of your most anticipated titles. So first is An Unreliable Magic by Rin Chupeco. Oh my god, I loved Wicked As You Wish. Admittedly, I didn't find it like the best like writing in terms of writing, but the plot, the world building, the whole concept of Wicked As You Wish, yeah, and of course, to support a fellow Filipino, and my phone is a little tilted. Is it straight? So yeah, I really loved Wicked As You Wish. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but yeah, the second book of that series, An Unreliable Magic by Rin Chupeco, is my number one anticipated read. The next book is I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. If you've been here on my channel long enough, you would know that one of my favorite books is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. And ever since then, Casey McQuiston has found a loyal fan in me. Casey McQuiston is really good with characters and like character ensemble, because that seems to be like one of my main takeaways in their books, that there would be a couple, but the ensemble cast, they snap. I'm really excited to read this book, especially since this is their YA debut. And again, with like the whole character ensemble thing, Casey McQuiston released an illustration of their characters in this book. So yeah, really excited to see that. So last but not least, this was announced recently, or I don't know if it was announced recently or just the cover was revealed recently, but anyway, my third anticipated read for this year is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. Listen, okay? I loved these violent delights. I loved these violent ends. And now we're gonna see a character from that series in her own story. Okay. 5. Which goals did you reach or not reach last year? So I kinda rewatched my January 2021 goals video. So I'm just gonna list them down and then maybe put a check and X mark whether or not I successfully did that goal. So yeah, read a minimum of 50 books, read more classics, read more fantasy. When I say fantasy, like I mean like branch out of YA and middle grade, because that's what I used to read most of in terms of fantasy. So I kind of wanted to go into the adult fantasy genre and branch out into that. I think I would say that I successfully did that. Upload more on BookTube. Do reading vlogs. They are a bitch to edit, okay? And lastly, to write more. I only wrote, I have a work in progress in my drafts that I might pursue. I don't know yet. And then I have a fanfic in a certain website. I hadn't updated since I was in college, and then I got inspired at one point, so I uploaded one chapter. Yeah. 6. Are there new releases this year you've heard of that you have no desire to read? As of now, I haven't really heard of anything that I'm shying away from. So yeah. Number 7. What are some reading habits you want to change this year, if any? Okay, there are 2 that I want to change. First is my annotating habit. Now, last year, I've read a few books that I ended up annotating on because I had a lot of feelings about it, but these feelings were really negative. It was more of like, ugh, why? Those kinds of like comments. So once I finished the book, I kind of realized that I didn't like it.
I don't like it.
And then I would regret annotating on it because it would be a bitch to sell. So now I've kind of decided that instead of annotating on every single brand new book that I have, I would rather annotate on rereads, or at least books that I've read before that I loved, and would keep forever close to my heart. So yeah, the second habit I would like to change is, if I don't like the book, just stop, just put it down. If you're not liking it, it's not gonna be worth your time. And that's just my, like, it's not for like when I'm struggling to finish a book, usually the outcome is that I would go through a reading slump. So yeah, it would just be a good idea to put the book down if I'm really not feeling it. Number 8. Are there any adaptations you are excited about? There are quite a few adaptations that are coming out this year, but these are the ones that I am just so excited for. First is My Policeman by Bethan Roberts, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, honestly, I wasn't like that big of a fan of the book because it's not really a genre that I gravitate to. Yeah, it's not really, yeah. The main reason why I picked up this book was because of who the cast are. So first, we have Emma Corrin, who stole my heart when I saw her as Lady Diana Spencer on The Crown, and of course, her co-star, the love of my 13-year-old self, Harry Styles. The next adaptation I am excited for is Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is a historical fiction. There was so much depth to the book and so much historical things that happened in this book as well. Like, it's a book that spanned, I think, 3 or 4 generations of this Korean family. And the characters were so well written, they were complex, they were so well developed. I'm just so excited to see how it translates into film. The next adaptation I am excited for is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Again, the cast. Philippa Soo and Simu Liu. Sorry, my mistake. Simu Liu. This book made me cry. I am excited for this movie, for the story, and for the cast. The next adaptation I am excited for is, again, by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Daisy Jones and the Six. I listened to the audiobook of this book, okay? I listened to the audiobook, and I'm so glad that I did. Shout out to A. Dominic Reads on Instagram for telling me to listen to the audiobook instead of just reading it, because the experience of this story while listening to it was a game changer. The audiobook was a game changer, you guys. This book was written to be an audiobook. And honestly, if you can, please read or listen to the audiobook. So all of these that I mentioned are movies, but the adaptation that I am the most excited for is the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. This is a graphic novel, a series of graphic novels, and they're just the cutest things. It's just the most wholesome thing I've read. Such a big deal to me because I don't normally read wholesome stuff, okay? To see these characters, Alice Oseman's characters, who are high school students, who are still discovering themselves, like the whole coming of age. I love it so much. They're discovering themselves. Friendships are put to the test. Family, just... It's one of my favorites just because Nick and Charlie are one of my favorite literary couples and characters. And Charlie, I just want to give a hug every time I see him on the page. So yeah, these are the adaptations I am so excited to see this year. Next, what is your favorite bookish memory of last year? I don't have a specific memory, but one of my favorite things, at least experienced last year, was how warmly welcomed I was into the bookish community. I made friends first on Instagram, and then a little while later, I would join Discord servers, and that was honestly the best decision I could do because the interaction with other creators, you get really inspired and motivated to do what you love, which is read or create. Like me, I am so much more motivated to do videos because I have people motivating me on those servers, on these chats, and it's like a whole community.
When you guys first came in, we were as wholesome and healthy as the family in the Brady Bunch. And now we're as dysfunctional and incestuous as the cast of the Brady Bunch.
So maybe I'll leave some links to these Discord servers down below. If you want to go check them out, please go ahead. And last but not least, do you have any carryover books from last year you still plan on finishing? I had listed this first book down before I filmed this video, and then while I was doing my makeup, I was listening to the audiobook. So I kind of finished it already. But anyway, I finished Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Leave a comment down below if you want to see a review on that. Promised Land by Barack Obama. And lastly, A Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I have 100 pages left. I don't understand why I'm not able to pick it up. But people have told me that it is worth it. So yeah. I'm reading other books in between until I feel like picking it up again. So yeah, this was the January book tag. Again, I am tagging Esme from Esma's Cup of Book and Isa from Isa Not Bella. And yeah, even if I didn't tag you, if you see this video and you still want to do this even though I haven't tagged you, you have been tagged. You're tagged. Tag. You're it. Tag. You're it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you missed me as much as I missed you. I will see you in the next one. Bye!